There's a building that has a parking garage with a bicycle parking area on the lowest level that me and a group of my friends like to hang out at and skateboard. I called up my friends Jordan, Dorian, Jalen, and Aditya one Sunday to ask if they wanted to go skateboarding with me at the garage. They all agreed, so we met up at my house and rode our skateboards and longboards through the unkept paths between the apartment buildings and arrived at the garage. We waited for a car to drive in and set off the sensor to open the garage door. Then we tailgated in. When we got inside, we rode our boards around, just practicing some skills. Eventually, we rode down to the lower level and sat in the bicycle parking area to have a break and drink some soda. All of a sudden, a car pulled up and parked in a spot that was visible from the bicycle parking area. The car sat in the spot with its engine running and the driver still sitting inside. Then another van pulled up and shut off its engine in the middle of the road. Both drivers got out and met each other halfway. They were both tall and intimidating with their hoods up. One driver passed the other driver money, but then they suddenly began to argue. We all watched in awe as they flung their hands around dramatically and started to shout. We couldn't make out what they were saying since the loud echo distorted their voices. We all froze as the van driver pulled out a gun and shot the other driver in the throat. The driver collapsed, blood pooling around him. The van's driver yelled something, and then we saw two other guys get out of the van, one tossing the body into the back seat, and the other began wiping up the blood. Something was going on here, and I could tell we were in danger. Dorian whispered that we had to leave, now. We all began to quietly grab our skateboards and started hiding behind a wall. But the blood-cleaning guy spotted Jalen as he was making his way over and yelled to the driver. The van started up, and right then, Aditya screamed. We all threw down our skateboards and began pushing away as fast as possible. I could hear so many noises in my ears, like skateboards moving, voices shouting and screaming, and the roaring van behind us. Dorian was on an electric skateboard and was taking the lead as we wound around the ramps, rising to the next level. Jordan was next to me, and Aditya was close behind us on his scooter. Jalen, who had been the last to leave, was falling behind, and we could see the van speeding up behind him. I yelled for him to run to the side, and he popped his skateboard into his hands and took a sharp turn to the left, running up a fire escape. The van screeched around the corner as Dorian began approaching the garage door. And that's when I realized something. We had to wait for a car to trigger the sensor and open the door. I yelled at Dorian to take the staircase to the right, and he did. Jordan and I hopped off our skateboards and ushered Aditya into the staircase. We burst out into some dirty apartment floor, and I quickly called Jalen. He picked up and told us he was outside the apartment building by the main road. We held our skateboards and ran through the apartment floor until we found the fire escape. Then we managed to run outside and met Jalen, where we called the cops. After the cops arrived, they started to search the parking garage. They couldn't find any traces nor the cars there, so they decided to check the security footage. The footage revealed the van's license plate was covered with duct tape, but they did catch the license plate of the car of the driver who'd been shot. They said they'd keep us updated and gave us a lift home. Since then, we've never seen the van again or gotten any important information from the cops. My friends and I have recently resorted to the much safer and public skate park nearby and never visited that garage again.